So this is a preset I created recently, and it kind of has its beginnings in a few things. One, I was watching a video where John Cordy was doing some Steve Lukather tones, and he was using a circular delay. And I thought, hey, that's cool. I want to try that out. And I haven't really played much with the circular delay on the Quad Cortex since it came out with a 3.0 release. And so I took my 80 Studio Tones preset and I put in some circular tones and I was playing around with it. And then I just kind of wanted to change it up. I didn't want to kind of keep that really super affected kind of 80s tone. I wanted to use some other things. And so initially I decided, well, I'm going to get rid of the kind of dual pitch shift approach, that kind of 80s thing. And for the amp, I want to use the new Fender that came with the 3.1 release. And then I just started building from there with some different things I've been trying out lately. And so this is what I came up with. So if we look, we've got our 8 scenes here, pretty straightforward. We'll start with a clean. For all of these, I'm using the new Fender Deluxe 64 Vintage. It's a great sounding amp. I've got the gain not too high for the clean tones. I got it on 3. I think for some of the other tones, maybe it goes up to 4.5. So not getting a lot of gain from the amp. I'm putting more things in front of the amp to get some of the tones. I did use the low input because I'm using one of my jack preamp captures on the front end of it. So it's kind of like running 2 preamps together. So I've used a low input here. And I'm running it through a dual IR, one of my favorite combinations. These are both from the free pack from Amalgam. I'll put the link to that in the description below. There's the Fender 2x12 mix and the Fender BFSR EV12 mix. And then what I did is, in the 80s preset, I'd been running, a stereo setup with the 2 pitch shifters. And so initially I said, well, I'll get rid of that and I'm just going to use the new doubler. But I was missing some of that bigger sounds down the center. So what I ended up doing was, if you see here, I'm splitting here, and it's just a normal split. So everything's going in both directions. On one path, I'm just going straight out. So there's a dry path going straight out, just kind of sitting right down the center. And then I go into the doubler, and this is going to split kind of that double signal left and right. And so it's a 7 millisecond spread. And so you've got the dry level going to the left and the FX going to the right. And then I'm running through the circular delays. I'm running 2 of them. And again, this is something I got from John Cordy's video. So I've got the first one. I'm running at a 900 milliseconds with a 3 tap setup. And the second one, I'm running at about half that at a 2 tap setup. So getting some interaction between these circular delays. And for the second one, I'm running in vintage mode just to change it up a little bit. The first one's just in regular mode. And on the front end, I've got this Kingsley Page. So this is a kind of a preamp that's kind of giving a little bit of a dumble roundness to it. And then this was from the 80s Studio preset. I've got a compressor up here to keep everything tight. So let's check out the clean tone and some of the other stuff. So as you can see, I'm playing my Jason Isbell Fender Telecaster, and let's hear how it sounds here. So you can hear the delays are kind of interacting with each other. It's kind of almost doing a little bit of Andy Timmons Halo kind of thing because there's no reverb here. It's all just delay. And it's kind of a fun sound. I like it. It's very ambient and it makes kind of those kind of accented kind of notes. I'm really liking it. Like when you dig in, you get that kind of reaction from the delays. And then for this scene, all I'm doing is I'm adding in this chorus. We're running in mode 4 for the DC2W. for the crunch, like I said earlier, I'm using my jack preamp capture in front of the amp. So I'm using this preamp capture kind of like a overdrive pedal. So just kind of a nice straight ahead kind of crunchiness there. And then to that we can add the chorus. Or we can boost it. In this case, I'm just adding in that page on the front. So warming up a little bit with that kind of double-ish kind of thing, and then pushing the gain a little bit. And then I've got a fuzz tone here. So we're not using the jack here. We are using the page. And I'm actually using a bass fuzz. This was something when I was going through kind of my presets review a week or so ago. I found someone who was using this fuzz specifically for kind of a Pink Floyd solo kind of tone. And I haven't played around much with any of the bass features on the Quad Cortex because I'm a guitarist and I just haven't thought to look at it. So I wanted to bring this in just to try it out. I think I'm going to spend some more time just seeing how much we can leverage some of the bass stuff for guitar. But here's this fuzz. So, kind of a cool fuzz tone. I like it. I think I like it as much as any of the guitar fuzzes. And then for a lead, what I did here is I pulled in, I just kind of went through a lot of the captures I tried out and that were on the device, and I came across this Analog Man King of Tone one that I had pulled down a while ago. All I did is I pulled back the treble a little bit, and we're running, through the page, through the jack, into the amp, and there's no chorus or anything on this one. And then this one, like it says, just adds the chorus in. So, just wanted to share this preset. I thought it kind of turned out pretty good. I like this idea of sending the dry signal down the center and then running the affected through a doubler first. I think that gives it a nice spread, but without making it sound, the doubler by itself, for me, starts to sound a little artificial. So I think when you mix it with just a straight ahead dry signal down the middle, I think it really starts to maybe come to life a little bit. If we take off the dry signal, so that's just the wet signal. We take off the wet signal. it works well together. So as always, this preset will be on my Cortex Cloud account. The link for that's in the description. Grab it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching.